The scramble for Africa, also known as the Partition of Africa, was a period of intense European colonization and annexation of African territories during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. The scramble began in earnest in the 1880s and continued until the early 1900s, with European powers carving up the continent and claiming territories for themselves. However, the exact end of the scramble is a matter of some debate. In this article, we will explore the different factors that contributed to the end of the scramble for Africa. One significant factor in the end of the scramble for Africa was the Berlin Conference of 1884 to 1885. This conference was convened by European powers to establish rules for the division of Africa and to prevent conflicts between European nations over African territories. The conference led to the formalization of European claims to African territories and established the principle of effective occupation, which required European powers to demonstrate their ability to govern and develop the territories they claimed. The Berlin Conference helped to bring order to the scramble and paved the way for the eventual partition of Africa. Another factor in the end of the scramble for Africa was the emergence of African resistance to European colonization. Many African societies and states resisted European incursions into their territories, often through armed resistance. These movements were often led by charismatic leaders, such as Samori Toure in West Africa and Menelik II in Ethiopia. These resistance movements made it more difficult for European powers to establish and maintain control over African territories, and ultimately contributed to the end of the scramble. Economic factors also played a role in the end of the scramble for Africa. European powers found that the costs of governing and developing African territories outweighed the economic benefits of colonization. Additionally, the rise of industrialization in Europe led to a shift in focus from raw materials to manufactured goods, making the economic exploitation of African resources less attractive. The economic costs of colonization, combined with the emergence of African resistance, led many European powers to begin withdrawing from African territories in the early 20th century. Finally, World War I played a significant role in the end of the scramble for Africa. The war disrupted European economies and led to a reevaluation of the costs and benefits of colonization. Additionally, the war provided opportunities for African soldiers and workers to demonstrate their loyalty and ability to contribute to the war effort, challenging European perceptions of African inferiority. The end of the war saw many European powers struggling to maintain control over their African territories, leading to a gradual withdrawal from the continent. In conclusion, the scramble for Africa was a complex and multifaceted period of European colonization and annexation of African territories. While the exact end of the scramble is a matter of some debate, it is clear that a combination of factors, including the Berlin Conference, African resistance, economic considerations, and World War I, all contributed to the eventual withdrawal of European powers from the continent. Today, Africa remains a diverse and vibrant continent, with a rich history and culture shaped by the legacy of colonialism and the struggle for independence.